Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. It's Friday, October 10th, 2025. We're very glad you're with us this morning. Please note this event is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. Back in 2007, I started facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. This group's been around since the late 1990s. I took it over in 2007 when the prior leader landed a job. In 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org to help those unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched careerusa.org to help those around the United States. I have written a book called Why I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. It is available on Amazon, or if you see me in person, I usually have copies with me. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team, also known as the PIC crew, and you'll hear more about them in just a few minutes. Our agenda this morning, will start out with success stories, where they go into 30-second introductions. We'll have those in the room give their introduction first, and then everybody who's online. And then we'll hear from the interview success workshop, the practice interview team, the career tip of the week, and then our main event about the top of the hour. Well, we'd like to start the meeting off with good news. We have donuts today, so come on down and tell us your good news. She's sitting in the very back of the room. Just grab the mic. No, you got to turn the mic on.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Valisa Madden. And as Jeff mentioned, I brought some donuts because I landed a rule. It's a contract rule, but thanks, guys. Yeah, it's a contract rule, and I decided to take it in the hopes that, it will continue on. So the position, it's a consulting role. It's for a company called Narvar. They do, it's called post shopping experience. So after you buy something in your cart, then they take over. We don't even know that's happening in the background, but that's their business. I started a couple of weeks ago. I just wanted to make sure that it was like a solid thing. How I found it, it was through LinkedIn. Very kind of random. I was on LinkedIn and someone in my network commented on this person's post. So I reached out to the person in my network saying, hey, can you introduce me to this person? And then she said, oh, I don't know them. I just commented it because it was on my feed. I reached out anyway and I said, hey, I know this person. And then we went back and forth. And yeah, I was able to land the role. Number of interviews, I had 3, like a screening and then an interview with the hiring manager and then an additional interview with a second person and the hiring manager again. And the length of time between the contact and the offer, I want to say, because they needed to move really quickly because somebody was leaving. So it was like maybe 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. What I learned in the process is that I guess you just don't know where the opportunity will come from. It was not something I applied for until after I heard about it. And it was just because someone in my network commented on it. So it worked out. But it's fully remote, which is excellent. That's something I've been looking for. And pretty much all the boxes I've been looking for, except like I said, it's contract. But in the meantime, I've been doing it. It's been working out. So thanks, guys. Enjoy the donuts.
Thank you very much. Always good to start the meeting off with good news like that. All right, anybody else? Anybody out there in Zoom land? All right. Whoops. So what we'd like to, for everybody who's online right now, if you will, open up your chat window and put in your name, position you're looking for, give us your email, LinkedIn, phone, city you're watching from. Give us two or three companies that you're looking for, because maybe we can help you with one of those. And then if you have companies that you have connections that you can help somebody else, put that in the chat window. That would be greatly appreciated. So we'll put 30 seconds on the clock. All right, if you're typing, continue to type away, put your information in the chat window. We'd really appreciate it. Okay, what we want to do now is everybody who's here in person, come on down, grab the mic and give us your 30-second introductions. Who will be first? Thank you. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Belzil. So I'm looking for a director of digital products role. So I need contacts at the Hershey Company, Keurig Dr. Pepper, or Amazon Web Services. So I have contacts at Walmart, Circana, and Epsilon. So my name is Mike Belzil.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Tim Farrell. I'm an electrical design verification engineer. I need contacts at Micron Technology and Intel Corporation. I have contacts at Raytheon. Once again, my name is Tim Farrell.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Daniel Reisinger. I'm looking for a position in welding manufacturing or teaching shop in the independent school districts or some other similar position. My name is Daniel Reisinger.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is David Turner. I'm an HR systems analyst specializing in employee central security. I don't need any contacts this week. I do have contacts at PepsiCo. My name is David Turner.
Thank you.
Happy Friday and happy hockey season, everybody. My name is William McLaughlin. I'm currently seeking a business analyst role and looking for contacts at GameStop and Dave & Buster's. Again, my name is William McLaughlin.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Paul Hussar. That's H-U-S-A-R. I'm a Director VP of Customer Service and/or Technical Support. Rise Broadband in Irving, Texas, and Lambda in San Francisco are looking for me. If you know someone, please help them find me. You will make them very happy. I can help with contacts at LG. I'm Paul Hussar.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning, Brett Cooper. Looking for roles in healthcare administration, insurance, medical directors, or consulting. I don't have any target companies this week and can potentially help at Children's or UT Southwestern, depending on the role. My name's Brett Cooper.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Corey Hess, and I'm actually a returning member now to the group. I am unemployed again. I am looking for entry level or administrative clerical records maintenance type positions. And I need contacts, I guess, pretty much anywhere. Does data entry, record maintenance, clerical, administrative work. And I mean, I guess I don't really have any contacts anywhere. Maybe my previous employer Engage. And then my name again is Corey Hess. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Todd Haney. I'm looking for roles in customer success and implementation. My target companies right now are Collinson and Motorola Solutions. I have various contacts. If you want to check my LinkedIn, most of my experience in the last 20 years has been in school districts. So there you go. My name is Todd Haney.
Great. Thank you.
And I'm the last one.
Anybody else? Yep. Hold on. Anthony just walked in.
And here's Anthony.
Good morning. I appreciate that grand introduction. My name is Anthony Autry. I'm a senior retail operationist. I worked for Walmart for 16 and a half years, serving 4 different roles. Anthony Autry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. For everybody online, if you will, please raise your hand so I don't call your name twice. And we will call people as their hands go up. So let me see here. Let me get rid of this first. Okay, Scott.
Good morning, everybody. Scott Boudreau, Certified Planning Inventory Management. Looking for a supply chain job in central New Jersey or remotely, specializing in inventory control or production planning. If it has a part number, I can manage it. If it doesn't, I'll create one. Scott Boudreau.
Very good. Thank you. Michael.
Good morning. My name is Michael Wilk. I'm looking for a senior or lead quality engineer or quality manager position. I have extensive experience in aerospace and defense. My target companies include Boeing, Collins Aerospace, and SNC. I am a veteran with the clearance, and I'm happy to connect. Thank you, Michael Wilk.
Thank you. Steve.
Good morning. My name is Steve Rowan. I'm a retired .NET developer. I'm looking for contacts at Pfizer for the VA. My name is Steve Rowan.
Thank you. Ian.
Happy Friday, all. My name is Ilan Ochayon. I'm a seasoned aerospace and defense professional with 25 years of experience, looking for VP type or C-level type roles in the aerospace defense or any adjacent industry. Recently, I've applied for one in Southwest Airlines. So if anyone has any, VP senior level connection, please let me know. I can help with contacts with Elbit Systems. Wish everybody a happy Friday and thank you very much. Ilan Ochayon.
Thank you. James.
Good morning, everyone. My name is James Pence. I'm a client relationship manager or client success rep, helping strengthening client relationships with any industry, any company. I'd be happy to do that with any new role or any new company. So feel free to reach out to me and let's discuss it. Again, my name is James Pence. Thank you.
Thank you. Michelle.
Hi, my name is Michelle Barnauskas, and I'm looking for something in marketing, project management. It's a broad area, I realize. And I just found a couple of opportunities with Edward Jones and VeriSite. I put in the chat if anyone has contacts there. I have some contacts who had been with Pizza Hut since this is the Plano group. I have 20 years there. Feel free to connect and see who else I know. Most of the companies I've been with are no longer in existence, unfortunately, but please connect. My name is Michelle Barnauskas.
Thank you. Kathleen.
My name is Kathleen McGregor, and I'm looking for a paralegal position, preferably in a corporate setting or a small to medium-sized law firm. I don't have any target companies at the moment, but I'm working on getting target companies. I have connections in the finance industry and banking industry. And again, my name is Kathleen McGregor. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Ogonna Agu, and I'm looking for a universal design strategist role. I don't have any contact companies today. I do have contacts at Empathic LLC if anyone needs customer call center agent position. And my name is Ogonna Agu. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosina.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rosina Gallman, and I'm your Career Tip of the Week host. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. I'm looking for a position as a Senior Talent Acquisition Partner, Senior Recruiter, or Senior Corporate Recruiter position. And I need contacts at TIAA Frisco and then or T-Mobile. And I have contacts at a variety of different places. So as we connect, take a look at my my connections as well. Again, my name is Rosina Gallman, Senior Talent Acquisition Partner, Senior Recruiter, or Senior Corporate Recruiter positions. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Alkeisha.
Good morning, everyone. Alkeisha Rodriguez. I'm a technical business analyst. I have contacts at Verizon and at CFT and need no contacts myself. Alkeisha Rodriguez.
Thank you. Brandon White.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon White, and right now I'm interested in R&D engineer positions where I can get my hands on a product and or supply chain positions. I do have contacts in Northwest Arkansas and in Frisco and Plano ISD. My name is Brandon White.
Thank you very much. Anybody else online that I missed? Going once, going twice. All right, we'll move on. We don't have any recruiters online, so we'll skip that part. It's time to hear from Walt Glass in the Interview Success Workshop.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Walt Glass, and I am a interview success coach, helping us gain skills and confidence for successful hiring interviews. So I am a retired IT career, over 40 years in IT. I screwed up an interview some years ago, about 25 and a half, as it turns out. And in that interview, I learned that I better learn how to interview from the other side of the desk. Hiring doesn't mean you can interview from a candidate side. Your ability to hire is one thing, your ability to be a candidate is another. So let me tell you about the Interview Success Workshop. It's free. You can look me up on LinkedIn on my About section, and it'll tell you details about the workshop, how to register, my email address for the workshop, and my phone number on my banner page to contact me. I do it on Tuesdays on Zoom, 9 to 11 Central Time. So just contact me and I'll put you on the wait list and get you scheduled for a future workshop. Be glad to have you participate. Now, that workshop is a learning workshop. It's just not a mock interview. It is for us to learn how to sell ourselves. And those three elements of selling ourselves are who we are, what we do, and how we can help. I see a lot of I do in resumes. I hear a lot of I do in a interview. But we also, they want to buy us for who we are, the kind of person we are, the characteristics, culture, communication, et cetera, culture fit. They also want to hire us because of what value we can bring. So we want to combine who we are with what we do, with what we bring in value to them. So it's not just the job we do, but the results. So we want to sell all those. So that's what the workshop is about. All you have to do is, sign up. There's a QR code there. It'll start a email to me and you fill in a few blanks. And I'll respond to you to get you on the schedule. Be glad to have you participate. I heard that since I couldn't come to the pit crew, that there was a substitute poem. That was not my poem, for those of you who were there. I don't know what it was, but somebody told me that there was a substitute poem. And so my poems are all corny. So all the rest of them, they're probably pretty good. So today, well, are we ready to sell who we are with our experience ranging wide and far? Don't forget our value as we step up to the bar, get that job, and we will be a star. I am Walt Glass.
Thank you for that. All right, let's hear from the practice interview team.
I'm Paul Hussar here for the practice interview team and glad to hear another original Walt Glass. The practice interview team is just that. It's a place where you can come and practice your interviews and get specific feedback from seasoned professionals who are panelists and will conduct the interview after conducting research on the job and the company. If you're interested in participating, find the pit crew on LinkedIn and submit a request along with a copy of your resume and a copy of a job description, whether it's an actual process you're involved in or an aspirational position, and request to be scheduled. We can also use panelists if you have been a hiring manager. And if you have had to terminate someone, you qualify to be a panelist. Please, again, let them know and we can get you into the rotation. We meet here every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on the first, second, third, and fifth Wednesdays of the month. On the fourth Wednesday of the month, we go online, which gives us the opportunity to have people from other geographic areas participate. Our motto is to practice early and practice often. It is a great exercise. I know as a panelist, I still learn new things every week, and I highly recommend that you participate in the process. Thank you. I'm Paul Hussar.
Thank you very much. All right, let's see here. Time to hear for the career tip of the week. Good morning, Rosina.
Good morning, Jeff, and good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. All right, give me just a minute. All right, so this week's tip of the week is the top 25 best job search tips for jobs in the United States. And this is, of course, provided by Google Gemini. And so the prompt that was used is, what are the top 25 best job search tips for jobs in the US or in the United States? So the most effective job search tips for the US market emphasize networking, tailoring your application materials, and treating the search process as a full-time commitment. Here are the top 25 job search tips for the United States, divided into categories such as strategic planning and organization, networking and connections, application materials and online presence, research and engagement, and interview and follow-up. So first, strategic planning and organization. The first thing is identify your career goals. Define the industry-specific position that you're looking for and what you want to achieve to narrow your focus. Second, you want to dedicate time to your search. So treat the job search like a job itself by setting aside specific blocks of time daily or weekly for focused effort. Third, you want to set realistic, quantifiable goals. Aim for a manageable number of quality applications or networking connections each week, rather than overwhelming yourself with a high quantity goal. Fourth, you want to create a job search plan and routine. Establish a structured schedule for searching and applying, and then networking, and then follow up to maintain momentum. And then fifth, you want to know your worth. Research your salary ranges for your target roles, experience, and location using tools like PayScale to prepare for negotiations. Next category is next category is networking and connections. So, sixth, you want to make networking part of your life. Building professional connections is critical, as a large percentage, estimated about 70 to 85% of jobs, are found through referrals and your personal network. Seventh, you want to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Treat your profile as a second resume. Ensure it's professional and up to date, and highlights your key skills for recruiters who use it as a primary source for talent. Eighth, you want to conduct informational interviews. Reach out to your professionals in your network and in your target companies, or for roles that you can basically have a brief chat to gain insight and expand your network. Ninth, you want to engage with professional communities. Join industry-specific groups, associations, and online communities to stay informed and uncover specialized job portals. 10th, you want to follow strategic decision makers. Subscribe to the social media pages, especially LinkedIn, of managers and executives at target companies for insights into the company culture and potential hiring leads. And then 11th, you want to reach out directly to hiring managers. Where possible, contacting the person who would be your manager shows initiative and strong interest. The next category is application materials and online presence. So number 12th tip would be tailor your resume to every job. Do not use generic resumes. Customize your skills and experience to mirror the keywords and requirements in the job description to pass the applicant tracking system scan. 13, you want to keep resumes simple and clean. Use a clear, consistent format that is easy for both the ATS and the recruiter to scan quickly. 14, you want to use keywords effectively. Integrate keywords from the job posting into your resume and online profiles to improve your search visibility. 15, you want to qualify your achievements. Use numbers and metrics where possible, such as increased sales by 15%, to demonstrate your impact and value in previous roles. Number 16, omit your photo on a U.S. resume. In the U.S., it is a standard practice not to include a photo on your resume due to anti-discrimination and labor laws. 17, you want to craft a compelling cover letter. Use the cover letter to showcase your passion and specifically explain why you are the best fit for the company and the role. And then number 18, develop a professional online brand. Ensure your online presence, such as social media, website, or portfolio, they're all professional and consistently showcase your skills and experience. Next category, research and engagement. Number 19, thoroughly research companies. Before applying or interviewing, research the company's values, culture, recent news, and business model to ensure it's a good fit. Number 20, target specific employers, and so adopt a quality over quantity approach by focusing on a select few companies and tailoring your applications to demonstrate genuine interest. 21, you want to attend job fairs and industry events. Participate in both in-person and virtual events to expand your network, discover openings, and practice your elevator pitch. Number 22, explore diverse job search platforms. Don't limit yourself to one job board. Use major sites like LinkedIn and Indeed, niche industry job boards, and government job sites like USA Jobs to find opportunities. And then last category, interview and follow-up. So number 23, you want to practice interview techniques. Prepare for common questions, research the company's interview process, and be ready to articulate your skills and experience confidently. Number 24, you want to follow up after interviews and applications. Send a courteous thank you note or email to interviewers to reiterate your interest and professional communication skills. And number 25, be persistent and flexible. The job search takes time. Stay positive, continuously update your skills, such as with online courses, and be open to alternative opportunities like contract work or freelancing that can be a stepping stone. I hope you will reflect on these reminders from the top 25 best job search tips for jobs in the United States and gain any tidbits of insight to add to your search. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.
Rosina, thank you very, very much. Come join us today for lunch. We're going to go to Jason's Deli, 4801 West Parker Road. It's on the northeast corner of Parker and Preston. So come join us, and at the end of this, we'll take a hand count and see how big a table we need to have for those people who are with us in the room. But if you're out there on Zoom land and you want to come join us for lunch, feel free to do that. Okay, if you want to receive today's materials, you will be able to get the speaker's presentation, a link to the YouTube channel with this recording, a copy of the career tip of the week that Rosina just read, and a copy of the Zoom chat. But to do that, for everybody who's here in person, make sure you've signed in on the contact list, or if you're new, filled out a little white slip of paper so I can get your name back on the roster. And as long as it's legible, we'll be able to get you on there. And for everybody online, please put your email address into the chat window so I know you're there. I know there was somebody with us the last 2 weeks who did not put their Zoom, did not put an email address in the Zoom chat window, but I just happened to remember the name and added you to the contact list. So please help us out to do that. These following people have joined us online, but they forgot to give us an email address. So if you're one of these people you see on the list, please give us your contact information so that we can get you added. All right, it's time for our main event. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, just raise your hand or enter a question in the Zoom chat window. And so our speaker today is Mike Chapman. He was with us about 2 months ago, but 2 months ago, he couldn't talk about anything until October 1st hit. So October 1st is now here. So Mike will be with us to give a update on open enrollment. So let me switch microphones with Mike and then we'll get going here.
Okay. Pardon me 1 second, folks. And now I'm going to share multiple participants. I do want to speak. Hey. Okay. Do I hold? That's good. All right. You can give me
Yeah, Mike's got to be up here.
How's that?
Okay.
Let me try this. Hello? Sorry.
You got something on here. Yeah, your microphone here.
There. That should do it. Yeah, there we Hello? If this becomes intolerable. Hello? Yes. Well, forget. Okay. Uh-oh. Camtasia. Hello? Yes. Testing. Never like sure.
Like that typically happens if you have two microphones on. So like if you're in front of your computer and you have a microphone on and then you're mic'd up in the room. So turn one of the mics off.
Hello? No.
Yeah. Let me try.
Hello, can you hear me?
There's two microphones on somewhere.
Yeah.
It's because it's speaking. Let me just turn off.
Sorry, we'll get it.
Oh, we'll just have to listen to you. There you go.
Okay, good. Thanks.
You won't be able to use
Double redundancy here. Can you all hear me online?
Perfect now.
Put a one in the chat if you can hear me.
Yes, it's great.
Cool. All right. Share my screen. Multiple participants. And now share. There we go. Finally. Sorry to be eating up your beautiful Friday, fall Friday. Okay, are we live or Memorex?
Yep.
Okay, good. Now I'm gonna get this funky little thing out of the way here. Pardon me. Okay, I think we can get going. Can you all hear me here? I'll speak loudly. And if I speak too loud or not loud enough, please let me know. And it's horrible to listen to or to watch yourself on a video afterwards. I've been speaking to groups for my entire professional career and for the last 22 years in healthcare and insurance matters. And I still can't get through a sentence without an or so bear with me. I'm going to go through a lot of facts. In addition to being a beautiful fall Friday Cotton Bowl weekend, right? It's not only Happy Stars Week, it's also Happy NBA Preview Week. And thirdly, it's a triple whammy. It's Happy Ohio State football, still #1 in the country, NCAA football game week. So guess where I went to college? Yeah, we won't mention that.
Texas
I'm
Tech.
blessed to be doing what I do. I'm passionate about this. I love what I do, and it does not feel like work. For the last 22, and by the way, I was a job seeker post 9/11, nuclear winter when I first met Walt, I first met Jeff. I met many of the Pete Hernandez, Foster Williams, Judy Wardle, many of the people that give humbly their time and their energy to serving others. And I'm blessed to be, to be able to specialize in what I do and help people. And it's really my purpose. Now, this is an unusual year. So you are in for some unplugged stuff that I've never talked about. All right. And you may appreciate my sick humor. I'm going to put this on slide presentation and we'll get going here. All right. I'll tell you why it's an unplugged. But first, I'm going to give you what I refer to as Mike-isms. All right. And you've probably seen some of these before. And by the way, one of the things that I love is staying ahead of change. I grew up as a marketer, psychology degree to marketing because I didn't want to play with lab rats all my life, and marketing I just kind of gravitated to. I rose through the ranks of sales and marketing, and then did a lot of turnaround work and before 9/11, and then became a single parent, raised two grade school age sons who didn't kill me, and I didn't kill them for some reason. And I understand I bring that up because I understand the depths of the depression that come with job search and the anxiety of when is this going to end, Lord? I've been there. And but through training and through my disposition, I've always felt the need or the desire to stay ahead of change and to try to anticipate change as much as I can, because what turns me on is being able to solve problems. If you can solve somebody's problem as a job seeker, you're going to get hired versus the other 10,000 candidates that went on to Indeed or something and applied for that job online. It's about solving problems. But life is also about bringing joy and helping one person at least each day. So that's my ism. But the first ism from this presentation I refer to as the Jordan Rule. And this is really hard right now. Who knows about the Jordan Rule? All right, I won't waste time, but Michael Jordan, he's he's owned professional sports teams. He was given, or he earned a percentage of Nike. and became really the first shoe salesman, professional athlete. And, you know, he's been very successful. The Jordan rule is, he was asked, why don't you take, you know, as a leader in the Black community, why don't you take a stand? And his answer was very smart. I have to toe the middle ground, because if I go straight too far to the left or too far to the right, I've just lost half of my audience. And so that's my position when it comes to insurance and healthcare. I try to present facts and what to anticipate. And usually I'm right, especially this year. But this year, it's really hard, folks. Chinese curse. And every year there's change, but some years, yeah, I'm invited to speak, thank goodness, because I love doing this, but some years there isn't much to talk about, so I'm trying to fill it out. This year there's so much stuff happening in the world, in the community, in healthcare and insurance, that I can't handle it all, you know, for my primary markets. I have small business and large business clients, but I also have about 1,000 clients between health insurance for people under and over 65, life insurance, stuff like that. So there's just too much to talk about. So seeing what is coming down the road, I said, hey, I have to change my strategy. And first of all, I've geared up. I have the person that is a good friend, and the wife of a good friend, very good friend, has been working behind the scenes in my back office for the last 2 years. She is now licensed. She's supporting me. She can help me. She's, you know, she runs circles around me in a lot of ways. And I also have and she's a licensed agent. I also have a full-time support person now that can answer questions, because this is going to be a very difficult room supporting you and supporting clients and prospects. But who remembers Rodney King? All right, you just dated yourself. But have you ever seen a year when we can talk about why can't we all get along, right? The more things change, the more things stay the same. All right, that's happening like crazy. And we're going back to the way health insurance was maybe 15 years ago, prior to the Affordable Care Act. And for those of you babes in the woods that have always been on health insurance through an employer, you know, it's a different ballgame when you're out there for yourself. For those of you that are over 65 or approaching 65 that are wondering about Medicare, it's a whole new ballgame for 2026. For those of you that have never navigated healthcare.gov, or let's say you have a plan through healthcare.gov, it's nobody knows. We're 3 weeks away from open enrollment beginning for people under 65. And the rules haven't, you know, nothing's been decided upon. We're still in gridlock. So it is a mess. Change, you know, as a sales and marketing person, change creates opportunity. All right. Now, but this and that, who knows what a carrot means? You know, a carrot there, you see that, that's for an editor. Now you can insert your own adjective there, but we're in a house of God, so I'm not going to insert mine. Too big to fail. Through consolidation, mergers, private equity, United Healthcare, right, have bought up over 1,000 different companies in the healthcare space. And they're now too big to fail. Auto industry, who remembers Cash for Clunkers? Again, you just dated yourself, but all right. The banking industry, same thing. You know, 2008, they were bailed out. this is happening now in the healthcare space and in the insurance space. Big Pharma is a good example of it. They're too big to fail. Forget about what the politicians say. You know, they're driving the boat, whether you like it or I like it or not. The biggest failure of all is what's happening in Washington, D.C. That is not a typo. That stands for District of Grifters. Who doesn't know what a grifter is? All right, it's happening. And again, I told you this is unplugged, but I'm speaking outside of the Michael Jordan rule. Now, what this has resulted in, and so I'm going to throw a couple of images in here to get another chuckle. I'm sorry, I'm a closet comic, but we're all pigs at the trough. Meaning that we have all been used to insurance and healthcare provided for us at basically no cost, whether it's through an employer, and employers can write it off as an individual through the extension of premium tax credits. It's free, cheap, and easy for many people. This year and previous year, not so more. The other one that I want to show you is the slaughterhouse. And this is what is occurring over time in our healthcare world and in also the insurance world. And as a nation, there are very few, and I have visited and studied healthcare systems in Europe, in Central America, and South America, Mexico, Canada, and the United States. They're all failed. But we spend 4 times per capita what those other failed countries do. So if we're going to have complete and utter failure, why are we spending so much money to do it? We spend more on healthcare than we do on the military and every other function. So it is a serious issue that no matter what happens in DG, that's our reality. So sorry to paint a dismal picture, but the result is we have all these vested interests that are too big to fail, right? And don't you believe that DG is going to fix this? Or the equivalent in Austin is going to fix this. Now, here's a double carrot, and you can imagine what my adjectives are here, but we have failure on our hands. Now, as my approach, and I love to have, I'm pretty fun-loving and easygoing. I can be a ham and a closet comic, but my approach in life has always been to never run from the fire. So many people, when there's a problem, they run away from it. I'm a determined son of a gun, and no matter what happens, my approach has always been, and I've been a turnaround companies. I've been on the dark side working for corporations and had to, mass terminate companies and close plants and consolidate. I've done all that, but my approach in life has always been stand up. You get your nose bloodied, you may fail, but run to solve people's problems. That's what matters to me. Run to the fire, don't run away from it, and think about that for your own life. Now, in 2026, we have unprecedented change in all forms of insurance or health insurance. Of this. Medicare, for those under 65, healthcare, all kinds of changes, negotiations between these vested interests that are too big to fail, and each of us that can't stand up for ourselves, including agents, and tons of changes in insurance. On Medicare, I just completed a month of weekly webinars for Medicare clients. There may be some of you, based on your answers to my questions, that that you may be Medicare age or approaching that age, or some of the people that are watching this on Zoom. Email me for the webinar recordings, and I'll be happy to do that. There are links that I can provide that will help answer a lot of your questions, but I don't want to focus on that because I've already completed that. For people under 65, massive changes I'm going to talk about in a second. That's 3 weeks away, and we've got a government that isn't functioning. It's further and further into insolvency, and the rules and the rates and the plans have not been decided upon. Or they may get decided in the middle of the night, tonight, or this weekend, or next week. My goal is to bring everybody up to speed, because there are specific things and tasks you can be doing now. I can't cover it in an hour. I can answer questions. I can kind of give you an update, but there is, I'm going to be starting weekly webinars for people under 65 beginning next Wednesday from 5 to 6. Same, I'll answer questions. You get, if you sign up for it, or if you know somebody, share it, because nobody understands what's happening. And I want to be the voice of facts, not the voice of fake news for clicks. You got it? That is what drives me. Now, a few things for those of you that haven't been through this. In Texas, there's no out of network coverage. All right. And that's the same in most areas. That means you got a problem if you travel. Other than unless you get hospitalized, there's no coverage. There's also only HMO plans that require referral from a primary care physician. Many of you have never seen an HMO plans or have been told they're bad. Well, I'm going to help people who are interested. I don't solicit, but if people contact me, I'll go through all this and help find which doctors and which network. And, it's always a compromise. It's rare that everybody's doctors and the network that prefers, but knowing if your doctors and hospitals are in network is essential, as well, in addition to urgent care centers that are close to you and that have an access. In the Affordable Care Act, which was passed in 2012, I guess, actually went live in 2014 with the failed website that took months to work somewhat. There were premium tax credits that were based upon the federal poverty level. In Texas, because we did not expand Medicaid, below 100, and this is still the case, below 100% of the premium of the federal poverty level, which I'll explain in a second, there is no premium tax credit. So you can get covered, but it's going to cost you a boatload of money. That if you're at that income level, you're going to either dip into savings or you're not going to be able to afford it. Beyond 400% of the federal poverty level, and you can see how that varies by the number of households. And yeah, I've had clients with 9 families due to blended families. There is no more premium tax credit. But in between, and this was originally a sliding scale. So, there's a lot more premium tax credit from 100% to 150% than there is, from 300 to 400%. Also, this year, this rule is no longer at 150% or less of the federal poverty level, then your children's application for, if they're under age 19, their application automatically goes to Texas Children's Health Insurance Plan. And, you're going to get copies of this and reach out to me, or, you get the PDF with links and you sign up for the webinars. I go into more detail. Here's how things stand for 2026. I know that for those of you that are here, that may be hard to read on the screen. You'll get the recording. You can see here, and this is from the Kaiser Foundation. This is very credible information. This is if we don't come together as a in DG, this is the rules, because these extended premium tax credits that were greatly expanded during the Biden administration were designed to, were only budgeted through 2025. Now, everybody thought Uncle Joe would be having a second term, or it didn't work out that way. The strategy was, well, let's get Joe in for another 4 years and we'll find a way of shoving it through because we'll be the majority in the House and so that didn't happen. All right. So as of right now, as of I don't know, sometime about 10:30 on Friday, there is no premium tax credit. And if your income is, if you have a plan this year, you know, you've got a pretty nice discount. Let's say if your household income is, I'll take a mid-range, $45,000, what you and this is estimate for 2026. If your household income is $45,000, you get $2,500 discount for your for what you pay in a year's time for your premium, for your premiums, insurance premiums. Next year, that would mean you'd pay another $1,800, and so on and so forth. So it's a huge increase in what people pay for insurance. But that's because we have been pigs at the trough and have gotten used to employer subsidies for health care and insurance, or premium tax credits that reduce the cost of insurance. But in the meantime, nothing has been done to fix our broken healthcare system. We have annual healthcare inflation. Forget insurance, just healthcare inflation for 2025 is 10%. I don't see that changing next year. That's 10% of the biggest part of our country's budget. You know, it's like it's exploding. So, and we've got a failed system. I'm not joking about this. This is important. So that's why I'm starting these weekly and I'll dig into more details about plans for people under 65. But here's just a shorter list, and this is mind blowing. You can see the first one there. Like right now, you can get covered through January 15th for coverage beginning February 1st, because people get riffed over the Christmas holidays. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And what do? Well, if you're ripped, then you can still get, that's a special enrollment period, but you can enroll in for February 1st. In 2027, December 15th is a hard stop for coverage. And that means insurance brokers like myself may actually be able to spend a Christmas with their holidays, but we're probably still working. And this is all just based on what we know. This could all change tonight or tomorrow. That also, you won't be able to receive a premium tax credit at all if you're behind in your taxes. Key point. If you've skipped it, it's going to make a difference. You also, if you've received a premium tax credit in the previous 2 years and you didn't reconcile it with your actual income, then you're not going to be able to enroll, period. So you're going to have to look at, there's all kinds of, I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but there is one concept, just for a second, and right now within Center for Medicare Services, which controls healthcare.gov, they have announced that there is, if you don't qualify for a premium tax credit next year and a hardship, assuming, the rules aren't finalized, but assuming that is job loss of income, but you're still estimating too high, you can apply for a catastrophic plan. What a catastrophic plan is, it's previously been available for people under the age of 30 you can fill out some paperwork, which I'll explain in the webinars, that you can fill out some paperwork now actually to apply to get ready. You can't do it till open enrollment in 3 weeks, but you can get everything ready to apply for that hardship for catastrophic coverage. And you don't qualify for premium tax credit, but you qualify for a catastrophic plan, which will be lower in cost than the other plans that are available, but will have more risk. It will still cover all mandated wellness benefits. Okay, and you don't have to qualify for underwriting, but it's going to mean you're going to have lower premiums than you would otherwise have, but you will have more risk. And again, it's going back to what I said earlier, it is like deja vu all over again. We're going back to some of the things that were in place before the Affordable Care Act were passed, where you're going to have to not just assume that that we're all pigs at the trough. We're going to be able to get something that's almost free, covers everything, no conditions. You're going to have to measure your own risk. How much risk are you willing to take? How much risk do you want to lose? Do you want to be, and my approach, and this is based on my own personal health experiences, is that I would never, and I'm not talking as I'm talking as a human being, I would never take the risk of not having coverage. I don't mind telling you I'm a 5-year cancer survivor. I've got other, I was diagnosed with a heart condition a couple of years ago, and as a result, I've lost a third of my body weight purposely to extend my life, to be able to do what I'm passionate about. And, so I run into the fire here. There's a lot of stuff here that I can't cover in an hour, but it's really important that you take a look at that now, because if you wait till open enrollment, when all the rules figured out, when we have a government that's back in business, blah, 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 and I don't know if it would be considered a compromise, but one side or the other will win on all this, then we'll know what the rules are, hopefully by November 3rd, and we'll be able to help you make the best decision among all the options that are available. Not only plans through the Affordable Care Act, but other options if you're willing to take more risk. Maybe you have a family member who has serious pre-existing conditions that are expensive or potentially life-threatening. Or maybe you do, like I did, right? That's a person that should consider COBRA. Maybe other family members, maybe you have a son or daughter in college somewhere that has a great student health plan that happens to be in a PPO plan. That's an option. We have to consider, put your hat on for a second and think, how do you manage the risk of your household financially and health-wise, and not only for today, because the best option for you is to obviously get a job that has benefits, great benefits, that the employer is going to pay. The employer's required by law to pay at least 50% of the premium for the employee only. And most employers in this market have to pay more than that. They may not cover family members, but they will pay for a portion of that. And that's the best coverage you can get until you become Medicare age. And as Walt and I know, sorry, I just leaked personally identifiable information that you could sue me for, but you and I are on that Medicare plan. It's a pretty good program overall compared to the other options. Certainly, better than plans before. Pardon me? You got a deal. There's other changes. Doctors are deciding, do they want to contract, and hospitals are deciding they want to contract with insurance. It's a mess, right? So forget the Washington stuff. There's other granular stuff going on in each market across the country. And by the way, I'm licensed not only in Texas, I represent every option, also in a total of 17 states. I don't expect you to copy that. it'd take you too long, but in the PDF that will go out, there will be an invite to the Zoom meeting. Now, here is the carrot again. And so now, having listened to that, you can mentally add your own adjective to that, whether it's blasphemous or not. But can't we all just get along? Now, ACA alternatives. Medishare, it's a Christian healthcare sharing ministry program. It is not insurance. It was much more affordable. And I said, relative to other options 5 years ago, it is still an option. They will not, anybody can join as long as you profess that you are a Christian, but that won't cover pre-existing conditions. Short-term health plans. This year, they're only available for 3 months. They don't cover pre-existing conditions. They don't cover wellness. Next year, a couple of companies will have those for up to a year in Texas, beyond that in other states. COBRA, remember me saying maybe somebody in your family should, with expensive, serious pre-existing conditions, that's the person that you could place on COBRA. Others, could be on any of these other options, but employer health plans is where your objective. And my objective is to not spend, and the people that want to, and every year I encounter people, and sorry, I'm kind of balanced left brain, right brain, but the extreme left brain people want to engineer everything. That is not good use of your time. Return on time invested is so key. The best return on your time is to focus on the job search, network in groups like this, get out and meet people and talk to people, because that's what's going to land you an employer health plan at some point. An employer can't, they'll play the game, we'll hire you as a contractor for a year. Then you have to look at some of these other options. But then you can go full time. Or they, 30 hours a week, and there's tons of people that are working 2 30-hour or 3 30-hour week jobs because the employer doesn't want to pay benefits. So there's all kinds of mix. And obviously Medicare, tons of changes there. I've asterisked the things that don't cover pre-existing conditions or wellness. Unbundling, I kind of talked about that, but this is what I was talking about when I started a really ugly website called Cobra Buster 22 years ago, and I started talking. It's how do you unbundle people in your family so that you mix and match coverage to be able to find the plan for each family member that you can afford while managing risk. Insurance is about managing risk. When you're on employer health plan, you don't really think about it, right? You might think about it for your car or your house, but you don't think about it for health insurance. But really, that's where the big dollars are. I mentioned college students. You may have a university plan. If you have an out-of-state family member, well, a plan in Texas isn't going to cover them in that other state. So you have to, right? You have to think. And I'll help anybody that I talk to. This is not you hopefully understand, this is not about me trying to get rich. If I wanted to get rich, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. This is about trying to help and serve, just like Jeff, just like my colleague Walt here, just like so many other people that devote a good portion of their life to serving others. Something else. I've mentioned this for a year. Those of you that are in job search mode, at some point, you're going to put your sales hat on. And if you're in marketing and sales or purchasing or some other field, you're expected to negotiate. And in fact, it can hurt you getting a job if you don't negotiate that job offer. Now, depending upon, and you kind of have to feel how that works, it's hard to negotiate in, maybe you have a talent that doesn't have tons of people that you're competing against. But one thing you can negotiate with the hiring manager, not the HR manager, because they're going to say no. You can negotiate to see if the company is willing to pay for COBRA or your Affordable Care Act premiums until you are covered. But if you do, that's taxable income. So you want to bump it up by what you think your tax rate will be for the next year. Another consideration, knowing what you know now and how the premium tax credits would work. You've got how many more days this year? 2 months and 2.5 months to convert. Yeah, you could convert part of your IRA to a Roth or withdraw to meet, if you're below 100%, you could do that in 2026 to get up to that minimum level so you're eligible for premium tax credit. But you could also convert to a Roth or withdraw money in 2025 so that you would then have enough income that's been taxed. You would have enough income that you could draw on to live in 2026 until you're eligible for that next employer's health plan. So there's some income shifting strategies here and tax shifting strategies that you can be thinking about now. And you don't have to do this now, but you want to do it by mid-December so that you have this worked out so you know what to do. Now, if you don't have income, and this is just one, but financial advisors, they don't want to mess with this stuff. There are very few people that are financial advisors want to mess with health insurance, let alone want to mess with that and property and casualty insurance. It's just, and a financial advisor, the scope of what they can do, they can get in trouble unless they really know what's going on. But you can bring this up, and most CPAs don't consider this too. So that's some ways that you can shift income to get within the brackets for a premium tax credit, whatever those brackets turn out to be. Also, whether it's your employer plan, individual plan, Medicare supplement plan, there's likely not to be covered outside of the country. Right? I've spent extensive time on all but one continent, I guess, not all continents, traveling. And I can tell you that if you have an accident or a health issue outside of the country, they're either not going to let you out of what constitutes as a hospital or out of the country until you pay the bill and put it on a credit card or some other, or you hope that if you call a family member, they think you're not some AI trying to scam you, or that you actually need money wired to you. It's a real problem. So there's also travel agencies, they want to sell packages. They will sell the absolute minimum for health insurance, but international medical coverage, which will include air evacuation, and if you scuba dive or extreme sports, is very important. There's tons of opportunities to save on meds just because your health insurance plan, whether it's on Medicare or an employer's plan or a plan through healthcare.gov, there are many opportunities to save on meds. And this will be in the PDF that you receive, but I'll be going into in more detail.
Mark?
Yes, sir.
Today, looking at merging GoodRx with Trump RX.
I'm sorry?
They're looking at merging GoodRx with Trump RX.
Trump RX?
Trump's going to get his own medical.
Like his, that's going too far on the Jordan rule.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of like, yeah, it's an opportunity. But remember, big pharma, it's a beast. and they're tied in with insurance companies. They're tied in with DG. So you've got to finesse things based upon each family member's medications and conditions. And, there's ways to save money. Final words, and then I'll open up for questions. This too shall pass. You're not going to be in job search mode forever. Stay positive. Solve problems. The person next to you may be having a bad day, may be thinking about ending their life. You can make a difference. Who can you help? Help many every day. But also, especially now while you're in job search mode, if you are the decision maker for healthcare or your spouse is, my advice is never let adult kids make their own health decisions, especially adult males under the age of 30. They think they're Superman, they're going to live forever, never get hurt. Well, guess who has accidents? Or they have strokes, they have heart attacks, they have aneurysms. That happens. So don't let them make stupid, foolish decisions that can destroy you financially and ruin somebody's life and not have access to health care. And don't be too proud to ask for help. This stuff, if you try to figure this out for yourself or just ignore it, if you're one that that runs away from the fire, you're doing your family and yourself a disservice. Do what you do best, or maybe you're not the best at a job search, but do what you do every day until you land and you're on good benefits, and then breathe a sigh of relief. You've got probably a PPO plan that's subsidized for the employer. And until you're in the soup again, and this isn't your last time, most likely, that you'll be in job search mode, you've learned a lot of stuff through this. Do what you do best, and don't waste time trying to figure that stuff out. I'm passionate about this stuff. It's not about trying to make a fortune, hardly, but it is about trying to make a difference in people's lives. Can't we all get along? Here's my contact info. Now, I'm going to also share something, and that is something that kind of speaks to, it's for Medicare people, but I want to share this with you. This is something that I actually produced and recorded this yesterday. And just so you know, Part D plans, prescription drug plans for Medicare people, goes with Medicare supplement plans. It's the hardest thing in the world for anybody to figure out on their own. And part of the strategy of insurance companies, again, big insurance companies, they're thinning the herds of agents. They're stopping commissions. So, but I'm running to the fire, I'm adding support, I'm adding people to be able to serve, because I don't believe they can do this without people that really understand what they're doing and are passionate about serving. So this has to do with Part D and everything that somebody right now, it's no compensation, but I've spent the whole month of October, and we'll spend the whole month of October helping clients figure out what's the best option for their prescription drug plan. Yeah, here. So I'm gonna skip. I'm just gonna. So we're gonna go back to. Let's see. 1 second. Let's get to turn it on. Okay. Here we go.
You're breaking up online, at least for me.
Now you're seeing all this behind the thing screens. So, anyways, you're going to get the presentation. I'm going to open up the questions. I'm here. I'm not sure what's going on the screen. Yeah, okay, good. So, can you read those off? Bill?
Yeah, online, I guess the best thing to do is go ahead and ask your question online. We won't be able to hear you until we turn the speakers back on here.
I need help on turning speakers on. So let's see.
Well, we got to turn the speakers on.
Can you hear me now?
So hold on. Any questions online?
I have a question. Can you hear, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay.
Who's-
Mike, yeah, it's Christy Grant Coleman. Mike, you mentioned sessions you're doing starting next Wednesday. Do we go to the medicalexchange.com to register for that? Or how do we do that?
It'll be
Now it's also out to maybe back to
Any other questions?
Did he give an answer? Because if he did, I didn't hear it.
Okay, bye.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay, I'll try to speak. Can you hear me?
I can.
It'll be posted at the medicalinsurancexchange.com, but it'll also be on the PDF that you receive,
Okay.
the link to the webinar series. And again, it's 5 to 6 Central Time through the month of from beginning next week through the third week of October or November. Also, I will be having a special job seekers edition at Clayton Stockdale's Fort Worth Career Search Network group, November 3rd, I think it is, where I'll be focusing in on job search. Not everybody that will be on these webinars will be people in job search mode. Go ahead. Sorry about feedback.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I
don't know what to turn on. That's so frustrating.
Okay. Let me try again. That better? Okay. Yeah, well, this is William McLaughlin. That's just so everybody online knows who's speaking. So I have a few comments when it comes to some of the stuff I saw. First, on the negotiation side of things, I recommend watching the videos about negotiation on the YouTube channel called "A Life After Layoff." If you have some questions, about navigating that process, I'd 100% recommend that. And also, also financial advisors and things were mentioned earlier. I would highly recommend going to RamseySolutions.com if you need to find one, as they under their SmartVestor Pros, and also they have for things like, and also on that same website, RamseySolutions.com, he has endorsed local providers available for things such as taxes, insurance, real estate, and so that's just a few other resources out there.
Hey, Mike, thanks. Great information. Just a couple of questions.
Sure.
And I have a very cursory understanding of a lot of these things. For Cobra, so my understanding is if you're on Cobra, the max you can do typically is 18 months, But then
Unless-
if there are
yeah.
special circumstances, you may be able to extend that. Is there any rules of thumb there?
Divorce or death get you up to 36 months, but I wouldn't recommend it. I couldn't tell you which one's worse.
Okay, yeah, not planning on either. The other question would be, you mentioned your decoupling insurance. I
Mhm.
notice a lot of the providers, they usually give like individual rates and then family rates. If you have a family, how easy is it to decouple, or do you have to still pay family rates even if you have like a
There-
one-off like a student?
Yeah, there's no discount on health insurance premiums. What there may be, which we talk if we have a one-on-one, is a difference in family out-of-pocket maximum. So you have to balance some of that, but there's no there's no discount. In fact, at healthcare.gov, you must to receive a premium tax credit. It's based on your household. You cannot file individually. You have to have all members of your household that you plan to have as a dependent on your 2026 tax return. And in some cases, you may have an adult child who is under the age of 26, could be on your health plan, but it may be that it's better suited for that person to be on. So it really depends on the situation.
Thank you.
Hi, David Turner speaking.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Mike. If we, or a person, if the COBRA expires in 2026, sorry, does that count as a qualifying event that would allow a person to, at that point, sign up for ACA?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Special enrollment periods include incarceration. That's a new one I just came across. Spousal abuse is another special one. And then things that are more typical: death, divorce, remarriage, birth of a child, moving out of state or out of the network area, and loss of COBRA or end of COBRA, or turning 26, or going on to becoming 65 and going on to Medicare.
A couple of questions, if I may, sir.
Sure.
Tim Farrell. I'm thinking as a person who has had some health challenges for some time that I want a lot of coverage when I enroll into Medicare. So my conclusion is Medicare Part A and B, get a drug plan Part D, get a Medigap plan Part G, and avoid Medicare Advantage because the insurance company can challenge the diagnosis. Am I on the right track?
Tim, I'm glad you brought that up. It goes further than that. Us baby boomers, you may not be a baby boomer, but a lot of us in this room are. We're getting older, more decrepit, more. As you get older, you get more health conditions. It's it's actuarial fact. So you have more more usage of our health care system that is broken, but you also have retiring baby boomer doctors and nurses, especially specialists. So what happens? You have all these insurance companies that have put in place Central and South American style clinics, clinicia, that the last person you're going to see is a doctor, or it's all designed to, extend what healthcare assets there are. But from your vantage point, it means limiting your access to the health providers you need and want, and extends the time that it takes to get in to see a specialist. So if you, like me, have serious, potentially life-threatening and expensive conditions, then the best option when you turn 65, or when you can stay on an employer's plan. And then when you leave the employer, and if you do that at age 65, you want to sign up for Part A only. Then you sign up for Part B when you leave the employer's plan. And then you want to sign up for a Part B. You get a new Medicare card at that point. And then you have 3 months
to enroll in a Medicare supplement plan. And that this year, standard, and this is in Texas, it was a very competitive market. The out-of-pocket maximum for Plan G this year is like $260. You know, it's nothing. First doctor visit of the year, you know, you met it. And then the maximum you'd spend on medications that are in a plan's formulary. Let's talk about next year. Next year it'll be, and again, this is medications that are in a Part D drug plan's formulary. It's $2,100. And then if you're on some drugs that are not generic or the lowest tier generic, then you're going to have to meet a $615 drug deductible. But you may be able to get some of those medications cheaper through GoodRx or CanadianMedStore.com. Next year, that deductible won't be announced on a Plan G until mid-November. And in other states, I can tell you, states where the elephants go to die, like Arizona, Southern California, Florida, a Plan G is just ridiculously expensive. So other Medicare supplement plans, you know, are what people can afford, but it reduces their risk. They can still get access to any doctor anywhere in the country, including Costa Rica, American Samoa, et cetera, you know, and limits the medical exposure.
Medicare Advantage.
Well, at some point, you know, again, and this goes down to thinning the herds. And health insurance companies are, you know, companies like Blue Cross Blue Shield Association or United Healthcare, just to name a few of the culprits. They not only want to thin the herd of agents who can help sort this all out, they also want to control the narrative. So if you call them, or if you work with a call center that calls them, they're going to push you to one company, and that's what they're going to, all the junk mail you get is for Medicare Advantage plans. It's not that they're bad. There's a premium, you pay a premium for a Medicare supplement plan. But over the course of your life, sooner or later, you're going to hit some big stuff that's going to cost money, or you're going to want to see a doctor you need to see, or, you know, forget about going to MD Anderson, UT Southwest with a Medicare Advantage plan. You know, so you have to balance, you know, don't look at it as a financial decision as of immediate, like you would an annual enrollment period. You can only you can only enroll in a Medicare supplement plan within the first 3 months, excuse me, if you leave an employer plan within 2 months of leaving the employer plan, or if you're turning 65, 3 months past your birthday month. And after that, you know, you're locked in. After that, you'd have to answer medical questions and it would be underwriting. And, you know, if you're on some expensive meds or a whole series of health issues, then, you know, that's your only option. Sure.
Hey, Brett Cooper. Tim, I'm mainly going to help answer your question, but for people online from the physician perspective, I would highly discourage you getting Medicare Advantage plans unless in very rare circumstances, talking to your doctor or things like that. Because while they promise like free gym memberships and dental coverage, their networks for your physicians are extremely narrow, I think, to your point, Mike. And so you are very limiting. You know, I take care of little people, but my friends who take care of older people complain all the time in a text chat about their Medicare Advantage patients, and they're trying to send them here and send them there, and they can't get what they need. So that would be my suggestion, is talk to your doctor your primary doctor that you trust about their experience with some of those in this specific regional area. But generally, they are going to be a waste of your time and your money.
Yeah. Great. I want to add to that. And what's your name, by the way? Brett, thank you very much. The other thing is that within the last 2 years, every major health system has gone through the ringer with contract negotiations before, during, and after the open enrollment period, where all of a sudden, like, give a primary example, Humana and Baylor.
all of a sudden everybody has to change all their doctor relationships because with the Medicare Advantage plan, they're not in network. And whether it's United Healthcare, Humana, Blue Cross, that goes on all the time. And so you'll be shifting back and forth. And that's what I'm doing for the next 3 or 4 weeks, is just helping clients access the doctors that they need and want to make those compromises, even though a contract negotiation might pop up in March, that doesn't qualify as a special enrollment to change plans.
Question, if once you're on the Advantage plan, can you switch to the non-Advantage plans?
In a couple of circumstances, great question. A lot of people don't know if your Medicare Advantage plan terminates, if it goes bye-bye, that is a guaranteed issue opportunity to enroll in a Medicare supplement plan. I know some people that have helped people go through that. It can be expensive to go on a Medicare supplement plan, but if you need access to doctors and hospitals and want to limit your medical expense exposure, that's an opportunity. Also, within the first year, there is a special enrollment. Within the first year, if you go on the first year of going on to a Medicare Advantage plan, either when you're 65 or if you decide to change from Medicare supplement plan, if you leave that, if you don't like it, well, within 12 months, you can go back onto a Medicare. You can go back onto original Medicare A and B and then enroll in a Medicare supplement plan. But, it's like, don't try to remember all this stuff because that's today's rules. Who knows what there will be next year, but it's a dynamic market. It's changing. These are too big to fail companies. And you got to know that you just have to stay out ahead of it to the best you can and manage risk, not only financial risk, more importantly, medical risk.
Anybody else have a question? Anybody online? Go ahead. Who's got their hand raised? Dwayne, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is not 100% a question, but one thing that I learned, and it was stupidity on my part. I took a contract job and accidentally selected the worst insurance ever. And speaking of health, I've got health issues, right? So I ended up actually quitting my job. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I've done the right thing or not. But all I know is I spent 25% of what I made on health issues. So I'm like, I don't know. I've got a lot of questions, but I just want to, for those that are looking, be very careful. I'm usually a careful person, but I had a really bad day. Always observe what the rules are.
Yeah, and those rules change every week. There's more surprises. So that's the intent of this webinar series. And next year I'll be doing a webinar series for those people that are coming up on age 65 or maybe working beyond age 65 to go through in excruciating detail that I can't cover in an hour, some of these things.
Anybody else? Well, Michael, thank you very much. Let me turn it down so you know. Thank you very much for your time and for information. I know it's a lot. I know it's always interesting how you can't talk about certain things depending on what day it is. And then once the day happens, you can talk about it. So thank you very much for coming and
Thanks.
speaking to us today.
Appreciate it.
Coming up next week. This is going. All right, let me switch mics. Okay, so coming up next week, yeah, it popped up there. All right, getting on my computer. Jay Frasero will be with us to talk about effective networking. Here's his book, picture of his books on there. I was like holding the book underneath my chin because it just sort of fits together very well. But his book is wonderful. It's probably the #1 book. I don't say #1, but there's nothing in the book that I disagree with in networking. And he'll talk about that, and he'll explain some of his stories about how he used networking in his job search. So join us next Friday at 9:30. This video will be loaded up on the Career USA YouTube channel. If you go to the Career USA channel, click on playlist. Every video I post goes into one of 7 different playlists. This will go into the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group speakers in the lower left. And don't click on the video because it'll play the last video. But if you click on View Full Playlist, up will come a list of all the different speakers who we've had over the last 4 years, almost 5 years now. And you can go back and watch any of them that you like. Just know that most of the speakers start about 30 minutes into the video. Next Tuesday, for LinkedIn Tuesday, Kurt Vandermatter will be with us to talk about LinkedIn from a recruiter's eye, how he's trying to find you and what he sees going on in the job market right now. So Kurt will be with us next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. The practice interview team will be meeting in person next Wednesday right here in this room at Christ United Methodist Church, corner of Parker and Coit. They're in person next Wednesday. For those people outside the DFW area, if you want some interviewing experience, join us for session 10 of our 13-part series, How to Build Rapport, Establishing Chemistry with the Interviewers. It's a really good presentation. And if you don't get the link for it, you can go to the careerusa.org website. Just look on a Wednesday, any date on a Wednesday where it says Interviewing Wednesdays, and you'll be able to get the link to watch the video. Upcoming, say next week, Jay Fraser will be with us on the 17th. On the 24th, resume writing tips, live resume critiques with Ashley Watkins Thomas, who's a career coach. We will put in an email that we're looking for your resumes. We'll take your personal information off the resume, but we're going to use it, and she's going to review resumes online. Should be a really interesting presentation. And then on the 31st, negotiating the job offer, and that'll be with Dee Robinson. Today, we're going to go to lunch at Jason's Deli. How many people think they're going to go so we know how big a table to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So whoever gets their table for 10 would be great. Put all the little tables together. For everybody else, thank you very much for joining us today. Once again, Mike, thank you for your presentation, and we'll see everybody next week. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, you too.